Hola bonitas, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review and a little bit of a wear test, even though it's later in the evening, but we're still gonna see how this wears for the rest of the evening night, on the new Morphe Huephoric blushes. Se ven así. This is what they look like. It's been a hot minute since I've been really excited about something. I think the last thing I was looking forward to was their launch of their foundation, and it was a pretty good foundation. So I'm very excited about these blushes right here. I did go to my local Ulta to pick one up. They came out with, I think, 6 shades. I did swatch all the shades so you guys could see them, but let's just go ahead and get right into this review and slight wear test we're doing, because I'm very excited to see how this is going to perform on the skin and let you guys know my thoughts and whether these are worth the $15. They're $15, bonita, so vamos a ver. Keep watching. Okay, bonita, so Morphe just launched these blushes. These are creamy blushes. These are buildable, buttery, smooth cream blushes that primes, hydrates, and blurs for a naturally energized rush of color. So Morphe said 3-in-1, honey. And I'm excited because if you know me, you know I love a good multi-use product, a product that I can just, you know, feel like I get a lot out of it, especially because these aren't cheap for like affordable. These are $15, which is pretty pricey for like more affordable brands. I do feel like Morphe has raised their prices a little bit. You know, I feel like they used to be really cheap, and now they're a little bit more pricier, but you know, I feel like everything's raising their price. So these are infused with silky skin blurring primer, hyaluronic filling spheres, vegetable collagen, bamboo extract. It's a lush formula that melts onto the contact of the skin for a healthy looking flush and supple matte finish. That's what really sold me, because I do have oily skin. So as an oily skin gal, I always am excited to see matte products, because I feel like we don't really see them that often lately. I feel like lately it's been more of like that luminous product, you know, that like pop of like dewiness on there. So to know that something's gonna set into a matte finish, I'm like, oh yeah, dámelo. So we're gonna be testing this out. I do want to point out, I already did actually try this for my short content, but I didn't really do like a I didn't really focus too much on the wear test of it. I did wear it all day, but I wasn't really focused on it. So this video, we're really gonna focus on that. So the shade that I did pick up was Hypnotized. I really like the shade Hypnotized because I feel like this is just a pretty color that, you know, I feel like would really look nice on my complexion. Also, I feel like this is perfect for the summer. It's a very wearable color for like, you know, day to like evening. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and apply this on. And we're gonna apply this on in 2 ways. One with a brush, and then the other side with a puff that I got free with purchase when I purchased this blush the other day. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just going to go in and we're going to tap the product, and it looks like that. Very great pigment. And I'm gonna go lightly with it because look how pigmented that is. Let me come closer so you guys can really see. Okay. I'm gonna tap off the excess on the back of my hand, because when I first applied it for the very first time, I tapped too many times because I was so excited that I didn't even realize how much product I took, and it ended up being a lot. But this time I wanted to go with a little bit less, but you guys can see. Look how pretty that looks. And even with the rest of my complexion, it melts very easily. For the complexion, I am wearing the Maybelline Skin Tint, the 24-hour one, or the Super Stay, that one, the Skin Tint, and it's working really well with this. Like, look how pretty this looks. And then do you see how like really melts nicely into the skin? It doesn't look dewy. Like a lot of cream blushes tend to be super dewy looking on the skin, which some people love that. Sometimes I love that too, but it's nice when you can find something that's gonna set into like a subtle matte type of vibe, especially for us oily skin people. So, mira, se ve muy bien with the blush, with no blush. And also this color, like this color is so pretty. It is a very pretty color. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys the other way to apply this. So with the brush, it definitely looks pretty. You just wanna go in with less product. I found that when I went in with more, the first time I originally used this, it was a lot. Like, it's very pigmented. If you go in with a lot more, you're gonna get that pigment like very intensely. So these are customizable. Less is more in my opinion. And I feel like that's how it is with a lot of these blushes, especially cream or liquid blushes. You wanna go in with less and you'll get more of that really pretty finish, as opposed to going with a lot and then it's like, ooh, we need to take a foundation brush or sponge and kind of diminish that color because it's a lot going on. But this is like just the right amount. Now we're gonna go in with this little puff right here. So Morphe did launch these Cloud Cushion mini puffs. Now in the display at Ulta, when I walked in there, I saw the blushes and then I saw a brush And then I saw puffs, a trio set of puffs, and I was like, that's kind of intriguing me more than the brush. The brush I think was like $12. The puffs were like $9 for 3. And then in the corner I saw that if you spend $15, you would get a free mini puff. Now this retails for $15, so I'm like, oh, let me just get my free puff with it instead of buying this 3-pack for $9 or however much. So at the front I asked them, I'm like, oh, like, am I gonna be my free puff? And she's like, oh yeah. So I got a little puff. And let me just tell you, I'm actually very impressed with how this applies it. It's kind of the same concept as using your fingers and like dabbing it onto the skin, ESTEE. So that's kind of the concept, except because this is like that nice like puffy consistency, you get really good pigment out of it. Let me show you. So I'm gonna go in, and again, same concept. I'm gonna tap, 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 and then you get the product like that. And then you're just gonna tap it onto the skin like that, as if you were using your fingers, you know, to blend it out, but you're using a puff, which is gonna give you more of a perfected, beautiful finish. Excuse me, I'm still getting better from being sick the past weekend. I have a little bit of congestion, phlegm in there, but if my voice sounds a little off, that's why. But look at that. Like, look how pretty that looks. Obviously, you can go back in and build it a little bit more if you wanna build that up. Like that, but even so, like, look how pretty, like, it really melts in so nicely. And I'm just kind of like taking it into that, like almost into the under eyes, just so that you can see how it builds up by tapping it like this. Like, look at that, it's so pretty. And I feel like it just blends so beautifully. Do you guys see that? So I was really impressed with these puffs. At first glance, you'd be like, oh, it's just a puff. But I feel like once you see the application and how nicely it applies everything, it just looks really good. Like, it really melts everything together and like almost like marries the skin tint and the blush in, so that it doesn't look like it's something super intensely laying on top. This is with the puff. And then this is with the brush. Obviously this time around I went a little bit more light-handed with the brush. I feel like with a brush, when it comes to foundation, concealer, cream blush, I feel like you're always gonna get that maximum coverage out of it, as opposed to like going in with a puff or your fingers. I feel like that kind of gives you a little bit more of a gradual effect, which is why I wanted to show you guys how it looks with a puff when you use less product and when you use more. Even though we went in with a little bit more, it still looks super pretty. So if you get your hands on the Morphe blushes, don't forget to get your free puff, because that's going to definitely be a great way to apply it. I really like how it looks, to be honest. I just feel like it gives like such a beautiful finish. It kind of like mimics the way of applying it with like a finger, like I mentioned earlier. So really like both sides. And the other colors are also really stunning. They came out with like a really pretty like light pink, like a pop of pink, like a bubblegum pink. They came out with like a really pretty like corally peach shade, a purpley shade, like shade range for everybody, which I do appreciate that. I think that was fantastic, but this one was the one that really sold me, and one that I really wanted to check out as soon as I swatched them on the back of my hand. So that's kind of what we have going on right now. I think it looks super pretty. Like, look at how pigmented that is. Look at that. So that's the blush swatch, and then that's kind of how it diffuses out. It just diffuses out really nicely. And like I said, this is like a 3-in-1 type of situation. So it is like skin blurring primer. It does contain that hydration that hydrates your skin, and it also blurs, which I do feel like it gives me a really pretty like blurring effect. So I really like it. And even honestly, you could probably use this to apply like a little bit on your eyes if you wanted to, or maybe like a little bit on your lip for like a little blushing lip moment. I just already have a lip product, so I don't want to even mess with that. But there's options for you to use this, and I really do appreciate that about this product. But right now it is 6:51 p.m. Can you see that? I'm gonna do a little wear test, a little slight wear test, but I am getting a later start because today was a busy day, and I wanted to do a actual review for this. I feel like a lot of times I skip through these like smaller launches reviews because I'm like, do they want to see that? But I feel like Morphe has changed a lot through the years, and I feel like they're not as hyped as they used to be, but I feel like they're starting to drop some really nice products, and I have been seeing a lot of talk about this, and I also was very curious for myself. So I'm like, I feel like if I'm curious, others are curious too, especially because these are cream blushes. We all love a good cream blush. Blushes are also the quickest to fade off the face when it comes to our makeup wear, so that's another reason why I want to see how it wears for the next few hours. I'll probably wear this till midnight, but it's also $15, so that's not cheap at all, I feel like, for an affordable product. So I do want to see how that longevity does. So far for me, the way that it applies, the way that it blends, the way that it looks when you apply it on, and that nice like subtle matte finish, I am loving. So that's definitely worth it for me. Also, I love the 3-in-1 product, the fact that it primes, it hydrates, and it blurs your skin. Love those things. So far I am liking the vibes of this, and also the fact that they have great colors, super pigmented colors, as you can see, super blendable, and then they set to like a nice like subtle matte finish. I do appreciate that. So I'm gonna go ahead and carry on with the rest of my evening night, and I will see you guys later. So stay tuned, bonitas, porque you will not want to miss this. Okay, bonitas, I want to show you guys a natural lighting clip of the Morphe blush. Even though it's evening right now, I still wanted to show you guys how it looks con la luz natural. It is right now 7:30 p.m. and this is what it looks like. I like it a lot. So far so good. And the color is so pretty. It's a very, very pretty color. I could see myself using this all the time, like for every day or like an evening night out. Se ve muy bien. Oh, and lastly, you guys can see it does set to a nice like subtle soft matte finish, which you can see, super pretty. Okay, bonitas, I'm back. Oh my gosh. I ended up falling asleep at my sister's house. I slept over. It is right now 6:41 in the morning, so I literally fell asleep con mi maquillaje, with my makeup. Like, what? Do not judge me, do not come for me. But yeah, this is the makeup from yesterday, and I'm like, so right now it is 6:41. I'm about to finish filming this, take my makeup off, and go do my workouts. Oh my gosh. So at least we got a good wear of the Morphe blush, because I was only gonna give it 6 hours until midnight, and I was like tired. I was so tired. So that did not happen, but this is what the blush looks like. So this is the blush. This is the blush on the side with the brush, and this is the blush on the side with the little puff. I feel like both sides look so beautiful. It's still perfectly on and in place. It is a long wearing blush, I would say. It hasn't faded, and I was sleeping and moving, and it literally still looks really nice. So I think for what you're getting and the longevity of it, I do think it's a product that's worth it. Like, look, it's literally still on the face. Like, I slept in it and everything, and it's still on the face, and it looks so good. I would say if you're looking into these blushes, definitely check them out. They're really nice cream blushes. I think they're worth the price, honestly. Like, this longevity just showed me that they last, and I think that's what a lot of people want, is a blush that's going to last. So Morphe, you guys really did that. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Let's continue doing estos videos para ustedes, and don't forget to let me know your thoughts down below. I hope you have a fabulous day. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful, y nos vemos pronto. Adiós, bonitas.